2 links down below as always to credit WWE for piecing this together. The wrong notes came up. That's how professional I am. In Louisville, Kentucky, CM Punk had an in-ring promo being mad at himself, but also for trusting Paul Heyman, because if you really think about it, at Money in the Bank 2013, Paul Heyman smashed CM Punk's face in with the ladder and cost him the contract. So this is now the second time that CM Punk gets betrayed by Paul Heyman, but he felt they had put their differences aside, they had matured as men, and that was what he was basically talking about in his promo. Paul Heyman then comes out with Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, all hell breaks loose, and it ends up with Punk getting attacked by the both of them, but not until Sami Zayn and Jey Uso came out at the aid of CM Punk to even out the odds, as we can see here. Pat McAfee comes out as Chad Gable and Penta have their match, which was nice. You could really see the camaraderie and everything, like I said, between Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. And I have to admit, like I said, even though sometimes I find him a little too goosey, a little hog wild, I like Pat McAfee. He is different. I think he's just really just being himself. I don't even think he's trying to be over the top. That's just like who he is. And I find that with him and Michael Cole, they really are an incredible team together for commentary. Just thought I'd throw that in there because he had the entrance music and everything, like right before the match between them. And Penta defeats Chad Gable. Again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Chad Gable, one of my favorites. Penta's definitely growing on me. I like him. Sometimes I just wish he'd keep his tongue in his mouth a little bit more. But whatever, it's cool. It's his thing. The mask is unique, unlike a lot of luchadors that wear masks. That one's a little bit more unique. Allows for more breathing room, I feel, under his neck compared to somebody like Rey Mysterio. And speaking of masks, you know, you can see Rey Mysterio unmasked and stuff like that. Allegedly, with Penta, you could find it, but it's really difficult to get like a clear shot of what he looks like under the mask. Tampa Bay, Florida. I was like, hey, that's where my hair went. It's on his chin. Tampa Bay, Florida on May 2 for Saturday night's main event. Seth and Braun will face CM Punk and Sami Zayn. That is official. And then later on in the night, we find out that Jey Uso is going to face Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship. And that all comes down because after the show, I believe it was last Monday, I didn't see it because it was when it was off the air, Logan Paul attacked Jey Uso. I have to admit, if I can have a moment, speaking of this right here, you know, think what you want of Logan Paul, but I'm not going to lie. He is someone who's believable that could take out Jey Uso. He's also, Braun Breaker is also somebody who's believable who could take out Jey Uso as well. He's done it before with, when it was the Intercontinental Championship, or was it the US? Yeah, I think it was the Intercontinental Championship. Anyhow, so that's that. American Made defeat War Raiders. And I got to say, you know, I'm glad these two teams are around, as tag division kind of feels like an afterthought. From a story perspective, I said here, and I quote, why am I quoting myself? It's what I said. I want some Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns finish the story level shit in the tag team division. And you've kind of had it before years and years and years ago. And I think that's why they do like factions and stuff, because they can build huge storylines behind factions like Judgment Day, you know, in recent history, or Imperium. But just like regular tag team without like a, like I still want to know where Valhalla is. I liked it with the Antlers and Michael Cole would get all wild. The New Day, the New Day, I can't say that I like them, but War Raiders and the Creed Brothers, part of the American Made thing with Chad Gable, I have to admit, I really, really like them. And that's all there is to it. But I wish there was a little bit more storyline, is what I'm saying. And I kind of feel like in forever, there never really has been, in several decades, been some super deep storylines with the tag team. Unless there is, and if there is, then by all means, freaking, you know, let me know down below in the comment section. So yeah, this is a great match as always. I mean, these four in the ring, they're just absolutely incredible. 330-pound Ivar moving around like he's 200 pounds. Is just not normal, and it's hard not to appreciate that. Jey Uso in-ring promo going off on Logan Paul about the Saturday night's main event match that's going to happen. But then Gunther comes out and tells Gunther, you know what? Jey Uso, you're just not a natural champ. 80% of the time, again, Gunther has been in the company. He's been a champ. And the winner of Logan Paul and Jey Uso will face, at Saturday night's main event there, will face Gunther on June 9th in Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know what June 9th is. Is that a Raw? Is that a PLE? Is that our Saturday night's main? I don't know, because even when Michael Cole reiterated what's going to happen, it didn't specify what type of show it was, but that's what's going to happen. I'm not going to lie. If Logan Paul wins and then Logan Paul defeats Gunther and keeps, I'm just saying that's going to stir some shit. But I can't sit here and lie and tell you I'd be completely against that. But yeah, let's just keep going. I don't want to make these videos too long, like I said. Braun Breaker attacks Jey Uso. Oh, well, there was the thing, you know. Yeah, Becky Lynch, we'll get to her in a second. So Braun Breaker attacked Jey Uso backstage as Ludwig Kaiser was being interviewed. And just speaking of Gunther, they've just been completely, like, not together. And Jackie Redmond, was interviewing Ludwig Kaiser about not really being in competition this year. And it seemed like he was doing really good last year. What's going on? He can't even get an interview because of what happened with Braun Breaker attacking Jey Uso. I feel like Ludwig Kaiser needs a serious push. He deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. He just deserves it. What do we got here? Gunther vowed to yeah, AJ. Oh, there's no video. That's why. That's why I was getting confused, because usually there's a thumbnail to a video for each segment that occurred. There was nothing here for AJ Styles that defeated Finn Balor, despite all the Judgment Day distractions. Every time I put JD for Judgment Day, I always say to myself, I got to make sure I don't think it's JD as in JD McDonough. Penta came out to even out the odds. This was the fourth time, I believe, that Finn and AJ meet inside of WWE, or maybe in total, because they used to be a part of the Bullet Club together. So don't forget that. They have a huge, huge history behind them. Now that AJ is a good guy again, and Michin is a good girl, it's too bad Michin doesn't hang out with AJ Styles more, because she's a part of that whole thing too. And then the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson, and, you know, the other guy. I keep calling him Luke Gallows. He used to be... Oh, yeah, Luke Gallows. Yeah, sorry. He used to be Fester. Anyhow, I miss all those guys. Speaking of tag teams and letting people go, those guys are really accomplished. AOP being let go. I'm still pissed off about all these people that are being let go, and then other people are being brought in. I'll talk about that in a minute, but it's going to be under 10 minutes. Don't worry. So yeah, so that's done. Becky Lynch in ring promo. This was good. She's good on the mic. There's no doubt. She didn't lose. Oh no, against Lyra. She won because she was able to walk on her own accord back home, have a shot of tequila, take a shower. She wasn't in the hospital like Lyra was. Yeah, we'll get into that in a moment. Backstage, Sheamus states that he gets Grayson Waller next week. We heard on the show with Jack... Oh, because when you watch the show, just like at the beginning, sometimes when Michael Cole gets interrupted and cut off frequently, what was really interesting is out of nowhere, it cuts and then Sheamus, and you just see like Austin Theory yelling at Grayson Waller because of what Grayson Waller did to Austin Theory. You know that thing where Jackie Redmond does her like little interviews, like not backstage, not in the ring, but like in between, sort of like that little plateau area, basically where Mean Gene Okerlund used to do a lot of his little interviews back in the day. It was reminiscent to that. It was only a split second, then we didn't see the rest of it, and all I could think of is, I mean, I could tell what was going on, and then obviously it was confirmed. So that's gonna go on. And yeah, Sheamus with the Brawling Brutes look. I miss him and Pete Dunne and the whole thing with Ridge the Fridge Holland. He's the one who broke Ridge the Fridge Big E's neck. And ever since then, back to NXT. Breakker versus Uso on Raw next week, but it's not for the title. Again, this goes back to that thing. I could see Breakker legitimately just folding Jey Uso in half. Breakker is someone who, yeah, who is legit, believably, not just because he's big and he huff and he puffs. Oh, and when Seth Rollins came out at the beginning of the night with Braun Breaker, we're now starting to see the boos that Seth Rollins is getting. But Braun Breaker, like the people are behind him, even though he's a heel, right? So yeah. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeat Roxanne Perez and Julia. Julia's the weakest of the four. I watched the match and I put down Dakota Kai gets released. I know, get over it. I still can't get over it. Like I said, letting go of Braun Strowman, as much as I love that guy, 15% paralyzed in a leg, has a hard time moving around, gets still put on a banger of a match though. Him and Bronson Reed, like, come on. That was like absolutely entertaining. It really, really was. He's got something to offer. Nothing was ever capitalized with him and the Wyatt Six. What if it's a ruse? What if it's a swerve? Whatever. And he ends up coming back later when I almost said Bo Jackson. Jesus Christ, this isn't football. He was a football player, right? Anyways. Bo Dallas, my goodness. Uncle Howdy, when he's cleared and everybody comes back, you got Eric Rowan, all that. He's a part of the original gang for the Wyatt family, right? And anyway, so I'm still pissed off at that, but I get it. You bring in Rusev. Rusev is just like a force to be reckoned with. Another very, very believable person that could just take any championship. He's really, really good. So him with Braun, and I'm not saying that Braun Strowman got replaced by Rusev, but you let go of a couple of people, then you bring in a couple of people. Roxanne Perez, like I said, I don't know much about her, but from what I've seen, oh yeah, she's definitely capable. She's definitely above average for a women's wrestler. There's no doubt about it. There's no Io Sky, no Rhea Ripley. Maybe I'm a bit biased, but I'm just saying. So yeah, so I'm still kind of pissed off about the Dakota Kai thing, the Braun Strowman thing, and I don't know. Like I said, some people I just don't see it. She's one of them. Let me know down below if you think she is worth replacing Dakota Kai. And I'm not saying that she did, but it kind of is hard for me not to think that way because they just get released and all of a sudden you bring them up. Kind of make room for them to come into the main roster. Thumbs up as always. I went over the limit. If you liked the video, that is, thumbs up. You didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, break it off in your ass, and you'll have to listen to Becky scream in your ear all night while you're sleeping. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally, that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.